Hello mga katribu and welcome to another episode of PairFect. I am Francine.
And I am Venice, Bautista, and today we are lucky to be joined by two experts who will share to us what LifeFood is and its importance in this very perilous time.
Yes, and by the way, thanks for making it, Venice. Tina is out on a meeting.
No problem.
Yes, so let's not get in the way of anything.
Yes.
This is a very important topic for today that affects everyone. Let us welcome Marketing Manager of Synnovate Pharma Corporation, Ms. Kimi Abapo, and Functional Medicine Practitioner, Dr. Eca Lorenzo.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Francine and Venice. Thank you so much for inviting me here.
Yes, how are you
too.
today?
Dr. Eca, how are you also? Thanks for making it.
I'm good. Thanks for this chance to share important info to more people.
Ayun po. So, how have you been naman po during the past few months? Especially ngayon, malapit ng Pasko, ilang araw na lang.
Oo. So I suppose both of you are very busy in terms of your offices as well and clinic. Can you tell us more about yourself?
Yeah, so, well, for me, yes, busy, blessed. Kasi nga busy, diba? Despite the pandemic, I mean, everybody had some challenges during the pandemic, but I count myself blessed kasi I have work, diba? I have the means to actually keep my family safe and healthy. So, yeah, I'm in Synnovate Pharma, which is part of the Unilab group of companies. So, in a very privileged position during this time kasi we're in the healthcare industry.
And then I noticed also, napaka-energetic ni Miss Kimi. Diba? So vibrant. Tsaka si Dr. Eca, despite the stress of the holiday season.
Yes.
Which brings me to my question, what is LifeFood? I suppose you beautiful ladies are powered by LifeFood. And why did you decide to launch LifeFood now when we're still in the middle of a pandemic?
Oh, very good question. So first, I'll talk about LifeFood. No? LifeFood is a comprehensive line of condition-specific natural food supplements that are of high quality and scientifically proven to be safe and effective. So yes, our ingredients come from nature, diba? So that is where we harness the power of nature to get the functional benefits to get benefits for our health. Yan. And our aim really is to improve the quality of life of Filipinos by offering supplements that can be a source of vitality and value-added nutrition to enable and empower our kababayans to lead a healthier life so that pwede nilang maging buhay na buhay ang kanilang buhay. So yan. And we launched during the pandemic. Actually, it was quite good timing kasi people are gaining consciousness na, di ba, on natural ingredients, on taking charge of their health. But what we noticed is a lot of people were focusing more on immunity. Di ba? Siyempre, because na of trying to prevent the disease from ailing us. Di ba? So most would know about vitamin C and all these immune boosting supplements, but there's actually all these other products that can help in the conditions that we know are affecting our daily life, our lifestyle, how we live. Ganyan. And that is how Synnovate actually conceptualized LifeFood, and that was how LifeFood was born. So we're launching it this year. 2021, just a few weeks back, we had our launch event online to share about the products that we have for the Filipinos.
Well said.
I know,
Exactly
right?
what we need dyan, no?
Yes, sobra. And talagang we need na talaga. Like, during this time, kahit na, ang dami nang lumalabas, especially, we have to be extra protected talaga.
Yeah.
So, Doc, Eca, how about you? Like, can you tell us about what functional medicine is and if it's really important sa atin?
So, my background is as an internal medicine doctor. That's my training and my certification. But about 5-6 years ago, I transitioned to functional medicine, and it's fairly new in the country. And for me, the best way to describe it is it's root cause medicine. So we complete the picture. If you imagine, can I ask you to imagine a tree or a plant? And the leaves are what we look at in hospital-based medicine. Meaning, kunyari, may nalalantang dahon, we will address that symptom. Tatanggalin natin yung dahon na yun or yung nalalantang bulaklak or whatever part, tatanggalin mo. So we're addressing symptoms with usually symptom-targeted medication. The pain reliever or something to address, for example, hyperacidity, bring us stomach acid production down. So it's very symptom-based. And that works, but it's not the complete picture. So you want to find out bakit may nalalantang dahon. You want to go and also look at the roots, like naarawan ba? Using the analogy of the plant, naarawan ba to, nadidiligan, baka naman yung lupa pangit, hindi, wala masyadong lupa, mas mabuhangin pala, or maraming bato, or may pests. So you want to look at root cause. And when we say root cause, these are the roots of health. Nutrition, which a lot of people, because of the pandemic, became aware na these roots of health, you really need to pay attention to them. So nutrition, sleep, movement and or exercise, stress levels and how you cope with stress, and then relationships. And when we say relationships, it's a broad term. It's your relationships with other people. It's your relationship with yourself. Are you devoting enough time to self-care? It's your relationships, let's say, with food. Do you use food to comfort eat? It's your relationships with everything else in your environment. Do you tend to, yung mga stress reliever mo are things that actually aren't so healthy. Let's say binge watching something on the internet, which relieves your stress, but makes you stay up late or makes you emotionally aroused, so you can't fall asleep. So we want, that's in functional medicine. That's what we look at, the roots of health, and then also how the body actually functions. So in not just what are you eating, like are you eating the nutrient-dense foods, the healthy foods, but are you actually digesting these foods so that you can absorb the nutrients from them, right? So we're looking at the deeper layers in functional medicine. I hope that
Yes.
I explained it.
Doctor, I have a follow-up question. Kasi in Western medicine, usually we're diagnosed and then we're given a prescription, like maybe in the form of a drug or a treatment or surgery. What about in the form of functional medicine? How do you try to remedy a particular ailment?
Okay, that's a very good question. And how we approach it is we want to find, as I said, the root cause. So for example, someone who's trying to lose weight, right? There are a lot of weight loss supplements out there, and people also know about diet and exercise. But you also want to look at, for example, the person is trying to diet and they're dealing with a lot of carb cravings. They want sweets and donuts and all of these things. And we want to look at what's driving those cravings, right? Because it's such a hard thing to use willpower. But if you realize that, your sleep quality isn't that great, you're sleeping at 2 a.m. and waking up at 6, or you're sleeping 8 hours but it's fragmented, then we know that sleep quality, whenever we're sleep deprived, we naturally crave more carbs. So if we identify those causes, then we do something, okay, how do we get you to sleep better so that those carb cravings disappear and it's not such a struggle to control them, right? And then when you look, okay, what is causing your poor sleep quality, and you find out it's, I don't know, they're binge watching. A lot of people, binge watch during the pandemic. And then you want to give them. And why are they binge watching? Because they were stressed and they wanted to dissipate that stress. So, yung pala, the thing that will help them lose weight is not to control their diet. It's to give them some way to deal with stress, so that they're not binge watching to control that stress, so that's not affecting their sleep. So it's a lot of asking why. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? And then we address the whys so that the manifestations or the problems, the issues, they resolve by themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes, Doctor.
So talagang there's a lot of investigation going on when it comes to functional medicine.
Hindi lang quick fix na inom ka ng gamot. Siguro ganun,
You're right. It's not a one size fits all. Like 10 people with diabetes, I used to do this. I'd give them all the same medicine, and it works to bring down the sugar. But in those 10 people, more likely there'll be different reasons why the sugar is high.
That's
Right.
what we target to
Oo, yeah. Oo. Makes sense, no? Makes sense, yeah. But for Miss Kimi naman, one of the things kasi that the pandemic has taught us is that we cannot really heal alone. Community is important. So, I want to find out, and we want to find out, how is LifeFood building its community of wellness advocates? Lalo na kanina you said yung phrase na buhay na buhay na buhay.
Yeah.
Tell us more about it.
Yes. So we just launched this year. In fact, we had the virtual event no October, and then we invited guests kasi nga like this one, diba, it's so nice to get to talk to people and then share your stories with each other. So we have what we call life talks. Parang that was the concept of our launch event, and we had Tito Boy host it with us, and then Doc Eca was there also as our medical expert, and then some panelists like Ina Raimundo and Ayn Bernos who shared their stories and how they were dealing with the pandemic and how they were able to live their lives despite the challenges and still be able to achieve their dreams. So very inspiring stories, and that's the kind of community we are trying to build, the spirit of people motivating each other, helping each other cope with the different challenges in the way they live. So yun nga, para to make life buhay na buhay. Hindi siya basta you are existing and you get to eat normal food naman. Yan. Like what Doc Eca is saying, there might be other things that are affecting your life, and that's one of the objectives of LifeFood is to open that conversation, open up the eyes of the people, make them more aware of how they are living their life, and there might be some things that affect them, and that LifeFood can actually help them, other than just talking it out. Also, of course, with the products that we have. So, for example, like the ones you're seeing on screen, for example, the evening primrose oil. Yan. Ako personally, I use this during the pandemic. Medyo nagkaroon ng hormonal imbalance because of the stress, because of anxieties, and it's a kind of, the reaction of your body is it's medyo na-whack talaga yung cycles and all. So evening primrose oil, LifeFood evening primrose oil actually really helped me deal with that situation. That I'm still able to perform at my best sa work, despite all of those things happening at the back end.
It really deals with yung lifestyle natin no?
Oo nga eh.
Super huge turnover ba?
Oo, talagang nag-iba.
Yeah.
Iba talaga.
Ayun, so for Doc Eca naman po, who would benefit from taking the condition-specific supplements, and how does one go about it? How do they know what to take? Where do they begin? What age kaya? Ganun po.
Okay. So, all good questions. I guess the first is you need to take an inventory of what your health is like right now. One, and also take a survey of your lifestyle factors, right? Are you, especially the food that you're eating, because these nutrients, we're supposed to be getting them from food, right? So you want to look at what are you eating. You want to make sure that you're eating more plant foods, more, whole, less processed foods. And that applies for everyone across all ages. And then, as I was saying earlier, you need to make sure you're chewing your food well, you're digesting it, so you're getting those nutrients. And then in terms of choosing supplements, of course, identify what issues are you dealing with. So let's say we're all women at different stages, in our life, there will be different concerns. And so depending on what your concern is, then you might, be called to or directed to different supplements. Although, that being said, sometimes, for example, I want to use a good example, is evening primrose oil. It's most associated with menopause. But it's not, and it's most associated with women using it. But it's not just for menopause and the hormone changes that are going on in menopause. It's also helpful for skin issues. So let's say you're in your 20s, male or female, and you have skin issues, for example, eczema or like atopic dermatitis, evening primrose oil will help. I remember this because I had a patient who was a guy and he was having some skin issues, eczema, and I gave him this evening primrose oil, and he was like, "Doc, that's for people, women with menopause. I read about it. I looked it up on the internet." I'm like, "Yes, but just take it," and it helped him. So it depends on what your goal is, and also you can combine different supplements to they can have a synergistic effect. So a good example will be if you're dealing with joint pains, then you know that maybe there's some inflammation going on there. A natural anti-inflammatory would be ginger. Let's say take salabat. If you don't like the taste of salabat, you can take in pill form curcumin, which has a very good, very, very well-researched anti-inflammatory effects. But at the same time, you might need to also hydrate your joints, and hyaluronic acid, which they actually inject into joints. They actually inject that, but you can take it in oral form. And that will, so if you, let's say you have arthritis at whatever age, for whatever reason, maybe you've been an athlete in your 20s, you're doing triathlons, a lot of strain on your joints, then you could combine curcumin and hyaluronic acid to help you improve your joint status. Right? So in terms of age, it's not about your chronological age, really. It's more about what your biologic age is, because you can be chronologically young but biologically old. Like you've subjected your body to so much wear and tear. And you can be chronologically old but biologically young because you've taken care of your body very well. So I hope that made sense.
I need to reassess my
super
self.
make. Oo, di ba? Ako din. That hyaluronic acid, parang gusto ko yan.
Meron ako din, like, my joints, tsaka si knee ko.
talaga?
Like, it's
Oo,
starting. Although I'm
oo.
not surprised because my dad also started very young. Pero syempre, ayoko naman magtuloy-tuloy yung akin.
Oo, so yun na, hyaluronic
Yeah,
acid.
I know
Ako
na.
din, curcumin. Mga ganyan. So, napaka-practical, hindi naman, medical and practical problems to make us function, So now we know, to make us function in our daily life. Now, for Miss Kimi, kasi ako, when I look at all natural products, sa dinami-dami ng food supplements, I always look at the credibility of the company, the label, sino gumawa, saan nanggaling. So my question is, how is LifeFood connected with Synnovate Pharma Corporation and Unilab? Enlighten us on the convergence of science and nature concept of LifeFood. But before you answer that, ma'am, let's take a short break para suspense sa ating mga katribo.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris, masaya? Pagsama-sama!
Bong, yung naumpisahan ko, tapusin mo. Mga bagong highway, tulay, tren, dapat ma-enjoy na kaagad ng mga tao yan. Kailangan lahat bakunado at laging may ayuda pag kailangan. Huwag dapat magkabalik ang mga drug lords para ligtas ang pamilya. Yung ginawa mong malasakit centers, maganda yan. Padamihin mo pa. Magkasama tayo. Tayo ang nagsimula, tuloy-tuloy lang, Bong.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris, masaya? Pagsama-sama!
Welcome back to PairFect, mga katribu. Before the break, we were talking about the Synnovate nga po, no, LifeFood. And Miss Kimi, we asked you how LifeFood connected with Synnovate Pharma and also Unilab. So please enlighten us on the convergence of science and yung talagang medicine
Science
natin.
and nature,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so LifeFood was actually developed by Synnovate Pharma, which is the naturals division, natural products division of Unilab. So of course, we know Unilab as a trusted pharmaceutical company in the Philippines, diba? In fact, the leading pharmaceutical company in the Philippines. And it's just right, actually, we think that they go into the naturals industry with people now being more enlightened with ingredients. Yeah, and you were saying earlier, Francine, diba, that we really look at the ingredients. Consumers are becoming more discerning of how the products are made. And I think with natural products kasi, because it comes from nature, it's not so easy to standardize. Parang there's always like 2 leaves, diba, or from the same plant won't be exactly the same. So with Unilab, you know, and Synnovate being coming from the pharma background, we are able to really our products really undergo stringent product testing following pharma standards. So you know that it's easier for you to understand and trust, of course, how the products are made. And we're of course very transparent. We go through all the FDA regulations, and our QA facilities are the top-notch QA facilities. So, yeah, so that's how we marry nature and science, backing up our products with the research. All our products, when we chose them, we chose branded ingredients, because it's not enough that you have, let's say, yun nga, for curcumin, it's not enough that you know it comes from luyang dilaw, diba? Turmeric. But kahit na 10 turmeric pa yung ilaga mo and you drink that, you're not sure of the curcuminoid content that you're actually getting from that concoction you made at home, diba? But we are telling you with LifeFood, this is the curcuminoid content that we're giving, and it's proven with studies ganyan that LifeFood curcumin, which contains Meriva, actually has 29 times more bioavailability than any other curcumin extract in the market. So yeah, so each product we really studied and carefully chose the ingredients. We have mostly branded ingredients or patented processes to make sure that we extract the potency of the natural natural ingredients from them, and then deliver that to our consumers.
Wow, so now I see. Kasi right now, most of the health products usually tend to put marketing before it, coming up with fancy names like that, like Happy Malunggay, Hello Ginger, mga ganyan, ano?
Yeah.
So now I sort of am understanding bakit yung names ng products are the actual ingredient, like curcumin.
So the active ingredients.
Oo, like citrinol. Medyo mahirap lang to begin with when you go to the drugstore and ask for hard to three-syllable words. So is that the...
Yeah, basta sentence pa lang, it's a mouth, so you don't even know how to read it. But it's actually it comes from red algae. So yeah, because people when they see the extract itself or the ingredient itself, you don't immediately associate it with the natural product, but it comes from red algae. And then curcumin comes from turmeric, citrinol naman comes from citrus palm fruit extracts. So yeah, yung citrus peels and palm fruit extracts.
So I suppose sanayan lang, no? When you go to a drugstore, meron kayong citrinol.
Yeah.
Or ano,
Kodigo ka.
ito sinsuot ko. Or meron kayong astaxanthin. Like,
Yes.
sanayan lang siguro, no? And because you need it. Kaya it just sticks to you na rin.
Ayan, so for Doc Eca naman po, like, what is your definition of wellness naman?
Can I just add something on before I answer that question?
Yes,
Like sabi ni Francine, yung masasanay ka lang. The other thing, so I've been practicing functional medicine for a while now. But I came from, my background really is hospital-based medicine. And why I really appreciate supplements is most of the, actually all the time, but I say most of the time because most of the time, not only do they help you with your main concern, but they also have a lot of other benefits. And let's just say it doesn't, it turns out it doesn't resolve your concern, your original concern completely. You still get so much out of it, and there are hardly any side effects, right? Because these are nutrients that your body uses to function the way it should. Unlike, let's say, you take a synthetic drug, which will work initially, but if you keep taking it, there are unintended side effects, and that's listed in the literature. You're warned about that. You shouldn't be taking pain relievers, chronically, or other meds, right? They have their unintended side effects, and with the nutritional and natural supplements, that's not. That risk is very, very small. And then also, why I appreciate having standardized supplements come out and become more and more available. Like 5 years ago, it was very hard to find. When I reseta ako sa patient ko ng this supplement, they'll always go, Doc, pumunta akong Mercury, wala akong nabili. Or pumunta ako ng itong drugstore, wala daw ganon. Right? And now it's getting easier. But also, there's a promulgation of so many supplements, and you don't know which one is quality and which one isn't. And so about standardization, also for the hospital-based doctors like myself before, we weren't taught to use these in our training. But there is research to back this up. And I appreciate knowing which supplements are looking at the science and looking at the research and being able to say, this is, this has this study, or this branded ingredient was subjected to X number of studies or clinical studies, and that's what that's what I know I'm giving my patient. It's good quality. So anyway, just wanted to add that there, yung convergence in science and nature. Now, definition of wellness. My definition is it's being you're in a state of well-being that allows you to do everything that you need to do plus everything that you want to do, right? So it's not just that you're not sick, because you can be not sick and you're getting through your work day, but at the end of the day, you're plastered. You're so tired that when you get home, all you can do is sit down in front of your TV and watch something, right? And grab a convenience or comfort food because you don't have the energy to prepare a decent meal. Right. So it's more than just the absence of sickness. It's having the endurance, the stamina, the vitality to really do what you want to do and to enjoy doing what you're doing. So I actually really like the tagline that Kimi was saying, yung buhay na buhay ang buhay. So that's wellness. Pag buhay na buhay ka, para buhay na buhay yung buhay mo.
Yeah, it's true naman when mostly people, when they just go home from work, ganyan, they're really tired and too tired to take care of themselves. So kailangan nga talagang mag-reassess with the lifestyle and with how you're treating yourself then. Yeah. Again, so for Miss Kimi naman po, like with various LifeFood supplements that you have, should we have a LifeFood regimen? And can you make suggestion po regarding what supplements to take based on the particular health goals that we have? For instance, like weight loss or anti-stress, diabetes, mga ganun po.
Yeah. Actually, Doc Eca is better suited to answer that now, and get a consultation from her and find out how your conditions, what your conditions are, and then the regimen will come from there. But as a general, siguro, kasi when we came up with the first batch of products of LifeFood, we also looked at the common ailments of Filipinos, and medyo, yan nga, what you were saying, weight management, diba, the ones that put on quarantine pounds, marami yan. So, yeah, we have a product that can actually help address that, which is Tonalin CLA. And we were talking about it earlier, Francine, diba? It's hard to pronounce the word, so I won't expect you to to try and pronounce CLA anymore, but it is conjugated linoleic acid, but we can just call it tonalin, which is the branded ingredient of CLA. And the good thing about this is it's not just because a lot of people think about weight management, basta bumawas yung timbang mo, that's fine, that's it. But this one, tonalin, gets in deeper, and we're talking about body composition. So, di ba, our body's made, yeah, may bones, may muscles, may fat. What tonalin targets and or helps in targeting is really fat metabolism and then promoting lean muscle mass. So increasing muscle retention. So with the studies that back up tonalin, so over 18 separate research studies, it is the only CLA that's actually backed up by that amount of studies, and combined with a balanced, healthy diet and exercise. So, of course, diba, Doc, Eca was saying earlier, a lot of factors affect. So, a lot of lifestyle factors affect our body conditions. So, combined with balanced, healthy diet and exercise, these studies show that tonalin can actually help reduce up to 9% of body fat and increase the body's total lean muscle mass. So madami dyan yung hirap na hirap, nag-exercise ka naman, you're doing everything, and sobrang low carbs na or no rice, but you feel like your weight is not moving, or sometimes bumibigat ka pa. There are some clinics or places, even the gyms, that they have a body composition scale, and that's where you'll find out perhaps you're actually gaining weight, but it's muscle mass naman, which might be heavier, diba? Or turn out you will be heavier because of that. So that's actually fine because you'll get stronger. So yung mga ganon, our products are really helping the Filipinos with the most common ailments. And now, diba, Christmas is coming. And mostly this is the time when a lot of people are binge eating, diba? Not just binge watching movies or whatever online, but also binge eating, because of course it's a season of festivities, of celebration. We're gathered together with our families. So we see a lot of people might be eating mga high cholesterol food, or a lot of sweets as well, diba? So our product LifeFood Citronol is actually a safer way to manage your cholesterol. So usually what is prescribed to people with high cholesterol levels, or the bad cholesterol, so total cholesterol, is maintenance drugs, yung mga statins, ganyan. But if you're keen or you're interested or you know about your cholesterol levels naman, there's actually a natural way, which is citronol, a proprietary blend of citrus and palm fruit extract. So they come from fruits, diba? Which was developed after 12 years of extensive research on the cardiovascular effects of the PMS, or flavonoids and tocotrienols. Yeah. So yeah, we really researched about the studies, and citronol, I think, is one of the things that you should keep in handy in your pantry. Ganyan. One of the supplements that really helps in managing cholesterol level and maintaining heart health, especially now during this period of festivities and binge eating. And there's a lot of other products actually that LifeFood has to offer. The curcumin I was saying earlier, the evening primrose oil also that I mentioned, and then Doc Eca mentioned hyaluronic acid, which can be used in tandem with curcumin if you are looking for a solution to your joint health or to address your joint concerns. But of course, for us women, di ba, meron tayong vested interest in moisture, especially when you have dry skin or yung mga onset of mga wrinkles and all of that. Hyaluronic acid is actually a common ingredient in your topical skincare products. It's usually in moisturizers or serums. But this one is an oral supplement that you can just take, so it's like beauty inside out approach, diba? So it doesn't only help in hydration of your joints, like lubrication of the joints, but also hydration of the skin, and then also the eyes. Sometimes we get dry eyes, diba? Yeah, so in juice is a branded ingredient of hyaluronic acid, which has a patented technology that it was able to make the molecular weight of hyaluronic acid small enough that you can absorb it in your body. Ayan, Doc Eca was saying earlier that it's not enough that you're eating or you're taking the supplements, but you make sure that it's something that is absorbed by your body. Otherwise, wala lang din yung nutrients, diba?
Wow.
So there.
Very informative. At saka,
Like high-tech siya.
Oo.
Very
So
advanced.
ngayon, meron tayong mga katribu, and we have questions from our Facebook page since we're live.
Yes.
Can you read our question
Yes,
from?
Linford Ma. Is it safe to take multiple supplements a day? Thank you so much, Linford, for the question.
Yes.
Can I take that?
Yes, please.
So, in general, it's usually safe. But the one thing I want to caution with, because some people will latch onto supplements and use the supplements to try and get healthier, and then not pay attention to anything else. Right? They'll not pay attention to any of the other lifestyle factors or their diet, specifically food, and then they're just using the supplements to try and get healthier. So I just want to put that caution, kasi baka kaya maraming iniinom kasi tinatry na maging healthy, tas yun lang. But usually, since these nutritional supplements will provide nutrients, you can usually take them in combination. The same way if you're eating a whole food diet, let's say you eat ano bang magandang fruit, mangosteen or durian or mango, you're getting a lot of different nutrients in that fruit, and you're getting them together. So the difference with the supplements, so for example, one of the one with extract from citrus peel. So because you can't eat citrus peels, then unless you're the type of person who eats citrus peels, but you take it in supplement form. So in general, it's okay to combine. Just don't use it as a substitute for actual real healthy diet. So I do want to caution about that.
And yes, speaking of the holiday season, Dr. Eca, can you give us some practical holiday and New Year 2022 health tips? Kasi syempre, hindi naman namin maiwasan ng kalyos, hamon, debola,
Minsan may lechon pa.
lechon,
My
and
gosh.
everything else. At ang walang kawawaang fruit salad.
Yeah.
Ano bang tips nyo?
My favorite tip, not just for the holidays, is instead of looking at things on a like a black or white, good or bad, positive or negative, kind of like dichotomy or duality, look at things on a spectrum so that it's not, is this good for me or is this bad for me? Pag nandiyan yung handaan, so dami mong pagpipilian, ang question in your head is not, bawal ba sa akin to or pwede ba sa akin to? Ang question is, which of these is the better choice? Kung walang best choice, which of these is the better choice for me? Right? So that removes the guilt that, oh no, I'm eating something na bawal sa akin. Because you know, it was the best choice among the choices. So yeah, I will enjoy the food, but also I'm choosing kung ano yung pinaka maganda for me at that moment. And then the other one is moderation is key. Like, moderation is key. And also, and this isn't a license to like binge eat and just let go, but you know, the reason why we want to get healthy is we want to enjoy life. So if you're at a celebration and you're kind of feeling bad because you're trying to say, anong bad sa akin dito, what's the point of being healthy if you can't enjoy your life? But in moderation, huwag ka rin naman magsabi ni Doc Eca, pwede daw akong, hindi naman ganun. But yun, look at things on a spectrum. What's the better choice? And then just practice moderation. As with anything, moderation is key. And then you enjoy yourself.
Good point.
That's a good strategy, no? Like, what is the point of being healthy if you're not enjoying your life?
Oo, kailangan buhay na buhay ang buhay natin,
diba?
diba? That's the point.
Ayun, so kaya naman po for this next question, what does LifeFood like value add to one's life? Like, what other products or innovations can we expect for LifeFood early next year? Especially ngayon, diba, talagang we're trying to really best the pandemic. We're trying to win this battle na talaga as soon as possible.
Oo, with new variant pa.
Yes.
No? Nako. Kimi?
Okay, so yun nga. I wanted to hang on to what Doc Eca was saying earlier, na allow yourself to enjoy life. And that's actually just, you know, the aim of LifeFood is to help Filipinos enjoy life more. Kaya nga gawing buhay na buhay ang buhay. And thank you for the question on what to expect from the brand. So we just launched, but there's still so much in store. So right now we have 6 products in the market, but we also have another another product in the pipeline. As in, parating na siya, because we know that there are a lot of women out there that are dealing with menopause or menopausal symptoms, and usually neglect lang siya, and the women will just think na, oh, this is just a natural stage in life and I don't really have to do anything about it. I'll just, like, deal with it as it comes along. So I'm gonna let you in on a new product that we have developed. It's called Estrogen 100 with Oxymea. That is actually jam-packed with a lot of antioxidants that help support women and alleviate the symptoms of menopause. But of course, it's not just for menopausal women, diba? It's jam-packed with antioxidants, and who doesn't love antioxidants? That's like one of the buzzwords as well this time of the pandemic, kasi nga it helps you deal with stress and what we call mga free radicals to keep you performing at your best and your body at the optimal condition. So estrogen. So it's coming soon, and then next year as well, we have another product. Sorry, I failed to mention estrogen is actually in a juice format. So it actually tastes like red iced tea. So so it's easier, diba? Like for the titas to actually just consume it like that, para ka lang merong secret cocktail that makes you feel good. Ganyan. Without the hot flashes and all those other symptoms. So that's something exciting for us in stores in the coming weeks, actually. And then for next year, in 2022, we're excited to share another product, which is, should I say it na ba? It's a jelly format naman. So, ayan. Kasi food supplements, normally we know it as capsules. And in fact, our first 6 products were capsules because they're more familiar. When you talk about supplements, they're more familiar in that format. But with LifeFood, we're trying to really educate people na these are products that are easy to integrate into your lifestyle. So parang you have your food that you eat, but you can take your juice or your supplement in a juice format, or you can take it also in a jelly format, para on the go. Especially if next year you're going to work, and you don't really have time to pop in those capsules. At least you just bring with you your sachet of jelly, and then you're set. You have your fix already of the supplement that you need for the day. So so many more exciting products coming in, and we really wish for everyone to have a buhay na buhay when the LifeFood helping you achieve that.
Ang exciting, Kimi. And you heard it first, mga katribo, here only in PairFect.
Yes, first.
At saka, I like the fact that amongst women, no, parang we have a busy lifestyle, we do a lot of things. At least, there are products that can help us continue our self-care.
Yes, and with the new forms of yung juice and yung jelly,
Yes.
it makes it easier talaga. Like, being healthy doesn't mean na parang it has to be parang sagabal.
Oo,
Diba? Sometimes
yes.
sa morning, you don't you forget eh.
Oo.
Yeah,
Diba? Ano ba naman kung meron kang tumbler na may estrogen?
Correct.
Hindi
Super
na alam
easy.
Yung lunchbox na may dessert kasi yung pala yun yung jelly na.
Oo, tapos buhay na buhay ka lang talaga. Mayroon ka palang red juice dyan, di ba?
Ayan. So, very exciting for
Yes,
LifeFood.
thanks for sharing the breaking news yan. Here and
Yes. Heard it first. Nandito.
Thank you.
Ayan. So now we're gonna move on to something a little more fun. In this segment, we'll get to know you better, and we have what we call the Fast Talk, where we ask you random questions or options to choose from, and you have to respond quickly.
Oo, wholesome naman ito.
Yeah.
Oh, shocks.
Sige po. I'll go ahead.
Kabahan kami bigla ni Doc Eca.
No, these are just wholesome, fun questions.
Oo, just to break the ice.
Yes.
Para buhay na buhay tayo lalo.
Okay, for the first one, biking or jogging?
Miss Kimi, start.
Jogging.
And Dr.
Biking.
Eka?
Different
okay,
one.
Coffee or tea, Kimi?
Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Tea ako
Dr.
din.
Eka?
Tea.
Okay.
Okay. So, what best music genre for you? Miss
Oo.
Kimi muna.
Mahirap. 90s alternatives.
Oh,
Medyo bagets pa.
oo.
Rock.
Aka.
Rock and alternative rock.
Wow, naku,
wow.
talaga mga
Very- hindi ko
ladies
na-expect
natin.
yung mga-
Oo.
Nahalata yung generation namin
Pero slaying ladies. Oo, ano pala talagang fierce and fabulous sa mga dating.
Buhay na buhay talaga
Oo,
dito.
oo. Oh, ito naman, your go-to snack and meal. Pag busy kayo, Kimi.
Ako, I have a shake, which has fruits and then a protein, a plant-based protein powder. Yun.
Parang feeling, nakakabusog.
Hindi ako snacker.
Oo. Dr.
So,
Eca.
Wala, hindi po ako mahilig mag-snacks.
Ay,
What
dapat
meal?
siyang sundan natin.
Hindi lang.
Kasi kami as writers, may snack palagi. Pero
No.
deadline time.
Ayan. So, your favorite pastime where there is no work?
Kimi?
Wow, madami. I like reading books and also watching K-drama. Like a lot of people, I guess.
Anong latest K-drama na pinapanood mo?
Ngayon, yung hindi siya latest but I'm watching 100 Days My Prince. Hindi siya masyadong sikat, but okay naman. I like yung mga period K-dramas kasi.
Dr. Eca?
Talk, sleeping, hindi. Reading din.
Okay.
Yun. Ano pa ba? Ang daming pwede. Reading, masaya din maglinis ng banyo. So, syempre, makipaglaro sa anak.
Kaya yun. Oh.
Very therapeutic.
Yeah, and then,
Pero di ba therapeutic maglinis?
yes, actually. Next question. Your traditional Christmas activity, Kimi?
Family. So, yun na yun. I guess, eating with the family.
Yeah.
So, cooking, ganyan. Lagi kaming trying new recipes every year. Ayaw namin paulit-ulit.
Dr. Eca?
So, yun din di ba family?
Yeah.
Well,
Ayun.
ngayon na may sarili na ring family, nagsa-shuttle na to the grandparents.
Oh, okay.
Diba? Going to bringing your kids to the grandparents.
So, ito naman po. If Santa Claus could give you anything that you want, what would you ask?
One.
Wow.
Only.
Wow, I didn't think about that, Parang nakaka-shock yung question. Kasi only siguro, good health for my family.
Ako, time machine. Yung pwede mo siyang i-pause. Kaya yung pause mo, tapos basahin mo yung libro, tapusin mo yung buong 12 episodes
Pwede.
nung season 1 ng 100 Days of My Prince. Tapos play mo na ulit, tapos mag-work ka na, ganyan.
Yan.
Wish on a wish yung sa'yo,
Time machine.
Oo. So, ano na tayo? Last question na ng
Yes.
game natin.
Okay po. So, your motto in life?
Kimi?
In life, oh my gosh.
Mantra.
Siguro I will say my mantra every day. Kaya lagi akong buhay na buhay. Nag-cherry bells lang yan. Gano'n.
Ay, gusto ko din niya. Dr. Eca?
Nawatuloy ako sa Carrie Bells. Saming ano bang pipiliin ko ngayon? It's all in the mind.
Yes, correct. True.
It's all in the mind.
Oo. Naku, thank you very much, ladies, for gracing our show. We learned a lot.
We
and
learned a
as
lot and
always,
enjoyed the
yeah,
talk.
sana we can go on and go on with our chika. But for now, may we ask you for some parting shots, some parting words? Kimi?
Thank you so much for inviting us here and then giving me a chance to talk about LifeFood. I just wanted to tell the people who are watching, of course, here, thank you so much for watching. And follow, please, if you can, follow at LifeFood PH on Facebook as well. And then you can also, for those who are curious about the products that I shared earlier, you can actually purchase LifeFood products from our official Synnovate store on Lazada and Shopee. And it's also available in our select retail partners online, like Essentials in Zalora, the Diabetes Store, We Nourish, BioBalance, MediClick, Farm Easy, Organics.ph, and some of our partner wellness centers, Evler Wellness Center, Shinagawa LASIK and Aesthetics, and our LifeFood Astaxanthin and Curcumin are available in leading Mercury Drug Store branches nationwide. So ayan, if you were curious about our products earlier, hope you can check them out in any of our retail outlets there. Thank you so much for having us here and allowing me to share about LifeFood.
And Dr. Eca.
Thank you also for it is fun. It's always fun to share this information and to do fast talks on the spot. I guess my parting shot talaga, parting message is when I said kanina it's all in the mind. And you mentioned already, Francine, that there's this new variant. I just wanna remind people to stay focused on health and well-being and wellness and be doing do these things like take your supplements, eat healthy, coming from a space where it's because you want to stay healthy. And I wanna parang yung nuance lang. It's not because you're coming from a space and you're afraid to get sick. You're afraid. So you're taking these immunity boosting supplements because you're afraid of getting sick versus you're taking these immunity boosting supplements because you want to stay healthy. It's a very nuanced difference, but I want people to realize that the difference in the way it feels. If you're coming from a space of fear suppresses the immune system. So if you're always so afraid of getting sick, eventually you'll get sick because the fear suppressed your immune system. It kept you up at night worrying. It released all of these different hormones, which made your body more prone to get sick. Versus just being focused on, I'm doing all of these things because I want to stay healthy. I want to, according to Kimi, be buhay na buhay. Ang buhay at kettlebells lang lahat. And it's a different feeling if you're coming from a space of, I'm well and I'm gonna stay well, and that's why I'm doing all these things. And it feels lighter and more hopeful, and you're inspired to do these things. So, yeah, I just wanna because things are lightening up in the past month or so, diba, with the pandemic, and now there's this new variant, and you can feel people starting to get afraid again, and the fear is rising. I just wanna say just how much fear can really drive illness. That's why it's all, a big part of it is in the mind. So that's my parting shot. Haba. But again, thank you. This was fun.
Uplifting, We learned a lot from the two great ladies we have today.
And I'm sure our katribus did too. Kaya thank you so much po again for joining us today. It has been a delight.
You had fun.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you more in our next episodes. This won't be the last.
Yes, of course. Kaya watch PairFect, everybody, live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. on Daily Tribune's official Facebook page and on Tribune Now on YouTube for the replay of the episodes. I am Venice Bautista, and mga katribu, I would just like to remind you that we only have 17 days left
before Christmas. Yay! And I am Francine.
Yes.
And
See you next week.
Yes, and this has been PairFect.
Ngayong Lunes sa The Athletes Tribune Season 2. Be inspired sa kwento ng tagumpay.
One of the things my dad always used to tell me was, to finish first, you have to first finish. And
Makisama sa fun at motivational na kwentuhan.
involved in this sport for a long time. I actually had to find my own way when I turned 20 to stay in motorsports. And this is where the basis for yung company namin, Tuason Racing, really
Manood at mas kilalanin ang multi-awarded Filipino racer, JP Tuason. December 13, Monday at 7 p.m. sa all-new season ng The Athletes Tribune.